What is up, YouTube? Here to talk about the Detroit Pistons and my predictions for the NBA trade deadline. It's coming up in around 2 weeks, and one of my favorite times of the year. Besides the whole basketball part, anytime there's transactions involved, I'm always for it. The draft, free agency, but specifically trade deadline because the clock is ticking the whole day. I'm always checking Woj, always retweeting. I bet a lot of you guys are too if you're big NBA fans. Just refreshing. And today, Troy Weaver had media availability, and he basically said that the Pistons are going to try to be aggressive. Not as aggressive as November, but definitely aggressive in the trade deadline. So, what does that exactly mean? My first prediction is that 2 out of the 3 veterans in the starting lineup, or before they were injured, 2 out of 3 veterans will be moved. I think we have DeLon, Mason, and Wayne Ellington. Prediction, I think any 2 of them do get moved. From the sorry guys, from the interview, he said he was quite high on Mason Plumlee, so I doubt that it'll be Mason Plumlee. I'm probably putting him at the lowest, but if the offer comes, wouldn't be surprised. But my money's on DeLon Wright and Wayne Ellington. I think the Pistons probably move on from those 2 players. DeLon Wright, there's not really much need for him now. Now you have Dennis Smith Jr., you have Saban Lee, who's playing well. And then you're going to have Killian Hayes that's going to come back this season. Like, there's no really space for DeLon Wright. And then you could move him to the shooting guard, but then you take away minutes from Josh Jackson and Svi Mikhailuk. So I don't really see a fit for DeLon Wright, and I think he probably can benefit a contending team that needs a true point guard. Because he is he's a pretty decent player. So hopefully he'll net us some value. And Wayne Ellington's kind of been a foregone conclusion. I think Wayne Ellington is probably gone. Either bought out, or hopefully best case scenario we get a pick for him, or maybe we package the 2 to get another player. But those are my 2 main predictions. As for some minor ones, the young guy who I really think could probably be moved is Svi Mikhailuk or Sekou Doumbouya. So for Svi, the Pistons do have to pay him. They do plan on they would have to re-sign him and re-sign him to a new contract after this season. And I just don't think, I am personally of the belief that I don't think the Pistons will. I don't think the Pistons will re-sign Svi Mikhailuk. I feel like they'll probably honestly go guard in the draft, or shooting guard. Or they're gonna get some guard, given where they land up. Especially if they get someone like Jalen Green. I don't really see a role for Svi, and I wouldn't be surprised if Troy Weaver makes a move and trades him, because he hasn't really been as productive as you would like this season. It's just been a slump season. I would still hope he stays, but it wouldn't surprise me if he's probably the young player who I'd put my money on. If there had to be one that got traded, I think it would be Svi Mikhailuk. Same goes for Sekou Doumbouya. Sekou Doumbouya wasn't drafted by Troy Weaver, so he's not one of Troy Weaver's guys. And you know, if you're not Troy Weaver's guy, you're gonna get traded. That's just how it's been. So I'm a little bit skeptical, but he did say they are trying to be patient with Sekou. So hopefully it's not like the end of the world. The man's only 20 years old, and he has a lot of potential. We saw flashes of it in the last 2 games against Toronto and Miami and New York. And yeah, hopefully he's here to stay. I don't think the Pistons should trade him. I think it's a little bit premature to give up on him, but you never know. I think those 2 players are definitely most likely. As for the other players, I don't see them trading Josh Jackson. I don't think it would be a good look. Neither would Jeremy Grant. I don't think it's a good look for other free agents, and it makes no sense to trade those 2 players. I know he did say if you get 4 first-round picks, then no one's untouchable, which is true. And an NBA is a business, but I don't think they'll trade Jeremy or Josh Jackson. I think it's unrealistic. Nor do I think they'll trade the rookies. The rookies are likely here to stay. Sadiq, Saban, Killian, and Isaiah Stewart. I think they're all here to stay. There's like a 2% chance, one very small chance they get moved. I think maybe Rodney Magruder, there's a chance he could get moved. Maybe as a package deal with DeLon Wright or Wayne Ellington. But yeah, that basically is my predictions for the trade deadline. Now, as for who I want the Pistons to make moves for, young players in bad situations. So I'm looking at Jared Culver in Minnesota. I'm looking at players like Harry Giles, Marvin Bagley and Harry Giles, Harry Giles is no longer on the Kings, but Marvin Bagley on the Kings. These young players, Malik Monk on Charlotte, those types of players. Even like players, even for, let's say, for the Warriors, like Jordan Poole. I know on the Celtics, like Romeo Langford. I know he's injured this year, but just taking shots on those players. I wouldn't mind seeing the Pistons making moves for those, or just picks, second round picks. I've seen stuff with first round picks with Philadelphia. So that's my predictions for the trade deadline. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. The second half of the season starts Thursday. I'll try to post videos. I'll try to post videos for the games that I can do. Sometimes they go a little bit too late and I'm a little bit too sleepy, and I don't think there's anything worth in the games talking about. But if the games are pretty interesting, I will try to make videos, and I will be here to recap any Pistons transaction news, because that's what gets my blood boiling. So take care, guys. Have a great night, and peace.